You! I change the music. You go into the forest!
As he's walking towards the edge, he just quietly calls out, "Grandfather Redwood, can you hear me?"
You spot like a tree nearby begin budding. This sort of like, and as you like spot that acknowledgement, you also hear a voice. Although this is not the booming voice of Grandfather Redwood. It's actually of Chaplain. No, Captain. No, it's not Chaplain. Captain. No, Captain Gustavo, the 703rd captain.
You got there.
Not the Grandfather Redwood, but I can hear you. He's like above you, like 30 feet. What happened back in camp?
Prisoner was less a prisoner than we thought.
Axel was right. And where are you off to, Mr. Retain?
I'm going to speak to the Legratos.
You couldn't really hear him move or anything as he might just have been like not moving at all. But as you say that, you actually hear him like his like ghillie suit rustle, and you can hear like a bit of like a click on like some metal rattling as his gun like scratches against his armor, and he just looks down at you like. He stared at you for a moment. You're not joking, are you?
I am not. You are free to stop me, but I will not turn back on my own.
Might I ask why?
I need to know something.
Is that information worth dying over? The way he says it, it's not a threat. Like he's gonna kill you. It's just like he's thinking you might die going out there.
I suppose there's only one way to find out. But I do not plan on dying.
Then can you at least wait? Just a moment.
Just nods.
He does like a whistle, followed by a series of bird calls. And then in a couple minutes' time, you don't really hear them. More of they just sort of skulk out of the brush. Two more of the 703rd. Sergeant Major... Oh, actually, you don't know their names. Out of game. Sergeant Major Axel, and then the rookie, Tristan. The captain begins climbing down and informs on the situation that you're going to try to leave the canopy, and you're going to try to talk to them. Axel, not being the biggest fan of Nevros, calls you an idiot, to which the captain just reprimands him on, shut the fuck up, don't just call people idiot, even if it is dangerous. Tristan's just silent. We're going to give him Overwatch. He looks at Tristan. You have this. Especially at this range. I see. And Axel, this should be what you want. Some faster action. Mr. Redain allows to set up ahead of time before you go out of the canopy.
I trust in your expertise. Implicitly.
He looks at the other two. Fan out. I want as much coverage as possible. Overlap allowable. Get going. They nod and begin. They like on shoulder the rifles and begin going off. In a little bit, you hear like a bird call, prompting you that they're set up. You're free to head out. As of right now, they're adopting that guardian spirit firing doctrine, just to prevent any damage on you as you're trying to pull back, just in case.
He goes to the edge and sees if he sees anyone.
You go to the edge of the canopy, and you're still in the canopy, but you can sort of peek through like a little small spots and crevices of it. There is a lot of stuff on the other side. You see makeshift fortifications, predominantly just basically trees kicked over, sharpened like a palisade, and well, like I said, literally it's just a palisade. Now I think about it, palisades with like protruding spikes, all made of logs. You can see those brazen ascendants, the guys that have fire braziers for heads, moving stuff around. Watchers just sort of flying around, fluttering, so to speak. They don't have wings. There's a lot of stuff out there. You see those pyres already lit, already alight, and you're just like, well, that's gonna be for them tomorrow. There's a lot of them out there, though.
I step slightly through.
You sort of like push through the camp. You can just sort of pierce through it yourself with your hands because you're on its good side, so to speak. You're whitelisted, and you can just sort of separate it as if it's like a bead curtain.
I would just call out to the first one that I see. I came to speak with your Legrata.
A watcher flies down to you as soon as like you begin leaving the canopy, and just sort of you can even see it sort of like readying its energy to shoot at you, and you say that, and then it just sort of holds the energy there. I don't know if you ever seen them, but the Assaultrons in Fallout 4.
Yeah,
like as Jacob would put, the robot Dami mommies.
Oh,
terrible way of describing them, but they're accurate. Yeah, like that laser beam attack they have. It sort of is ready to do that at you, and it holds it there as you say that. And then just sort of lets it fizzle, just sort of. And then just sort of gets closer to you, like right up to your face. It's like Half-Life 2 with like the fucking man hacks, just sort of eyes darting around looking at you. And then it begins floating and backing up. And just keeps looking at you. It doesn't shoot you, it doesn't stop you. Don't talk shit on those robots, Garth. They're probably one of the most lethal mobs in the entire game. Honestly, I think more lethal than Deathclaws. Because Deathclaws have to get close to you. Those fuckers don't.
Oh, especially if you have it on high difficulty. They'll just dome you.
No, there are so many times I'm playing Fallout 76. Yes, I play Fallout 76. And I'll literally get, like, fucking cross the map laser beamed and, like, almost all my health dies in, like, 6 seconds. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? There's no cover out here? It's the fucking plains! Yeah, that shit nasty. That shit nasty. Anyways. You are unassailed. Do you stay at the edge of the canopy, or do you go further ahead?
I think I'll stay there.
Okay. So let me prep this, if it saves.
Or for choose here for you, because you have a map, I'll step forward.
No, I don't have a map. I do have, if I can fucking find it. Where is it? God damn it. I'm mad now. Where is it? I just saved it. Where is it? I just saved it. This is bullshit. It's in this folder. I don't know what it's complaining about. Oh, there it is. Yes. I found it. You see a series of Enlighteners begin talking with one another. The ones that are more nearby even actually stop what they're doing, readying defenses, setting up places to rest, and so on. Not that they really rest. All of them looking like carbon copies of one another. And then you hear something. It's hard to describe. There's a game I got that is the sound perfectly, and I don't know how to describe it. It sounds like music. But like someone speaking music. Like, you know, that sort of biblical accuracy sort of thing. This a choir singing as one's voice. You hear it out in the distance, and it sounds very lovely, if a bit disconcerting because you could hear it from that far out. This is like a mile. To be fair, it's a mile of open ground, but it is a mile. You just hear the faintest off tune of it. Roll me your perception. Okay,
Killing it
well,
today.
not a 15, dude. That's so lame. Not even a 15. You see some figure in that direction. Very, well, taller than a normal man, with a pure white, in stark contrast of like the dark oranges of the rest of the liners, a pure white skin, fur, feather, something like that. You see him for a moment as a sort of small white figure out in the distance, especially because it is nighttime and there's fire and smoke everywhere. But they eventually rescind from your visions as they turn into one of the defenses, the fortifications, rather. And then you hear something. You hear... And then something lands on right in front of you. I still need to fix the border, but... There we go.
Oh, that guy.
He lands in front of you. He doesn't have a blade drawn, don't worry.
I would speak to him in Davros. I offer you my greeting.
He responds in common. Do not sully my ears with the savage's tongue. He walks over to you. He's taller than a normal man, 7 feet tall or so.
I would speak to him in common, but I'll speak to you in the tongue that you prefer.
There are more watchers that sort of flutter over to you, just sort of watching, almost like paparazzi cameras in a weird way.
I'm unaware of what you would call someone who is both Ligaratos and Alas.
You may call me the Grandmaster, just as all the Enlighteners do.
Very well then, Grandmaster. I've
Pale
come to
hair.
offer you a deal.
Pale hair, silver tongue. Deal making. You must be Redain.
That is correct, Grandmaster.
Captain Bellamy told you. Of me, surely. And I heard of you. From him. He walks closer. What deal are you offering? I don't imagine you'd be so weak to crumble and offer surrender. That doesn't sound right at all.
Under no circumstances would I offer such.
Then what deal do you offer?
While your forces have struck many good blows, we are winning this war.
Are you?
I offer you this. And he pulls out his blade as the cold energy flows through it. You and your best versus me and my best. Right here, tomorrow.
You would die so readily for a cause that's not your own.
I would.
Then allow me to retort. Redain. He goes over to you, puts a hand on that blade, though not the flaming sword one, but the one at his side. He puts a hand on that and offers the other one. Leave them. Join us. We are fighting on the same side, after all. In the name of peace. The name of the provinces. Join us.
In another world, I would have. But that is not the reality we have in front of us. If you and I offer you this, I will make a hole right in that Maya vine, and you can march your forces right through it.
And if you win, we
You
leave.
die, your people crumble.
Do you really think we're going to lose?
I suppose that's up for the gods to decide, isn't it? I've seen your soldiers. I know how they fight, and I know you'll accept this offer.
I will I? You and your best versus me and mine. How many would you number your best? For I have infinite.
Now I look to the number we have. The number we have. I say the number we have.
What are you trying to offer? You're trying to offer your scenario 3 people versus him?
No.
Or what are the, because there's not going to be, it's either his most conservative efforts, which is him and one other person, or his most liberal efforts, which is ad infinitum because they just respawn.
Whatever the scenario 4 was going to be.
Run scenario 4, skip scenario 3.
Oh, I was just saying that to him. So my goal in this is that they'll be watching, because I doubt their Phil God is not going to be paying attention to it, which would then let scenario 3 be free to act without being lasered out of the sky. That's the gamble I'm making here. And if we die, who cares if the gate's open? We'll all be dead and rolling new characters.
Touche. Intriguing. I give it that. Definitely that.
We lost the way to distract him previously. I'm just making a new way. And God, that looks like it took forever.
I mean, I can get you the hours.
The thing Garth on it. It's not fixes. Honestly, this sort of works though. Like with the footing, not gonna lie, it sort of works.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
It do.
No, fuck, I'm not gonna change it. It looks dope. That's a tough one. Because if you lose, the Stemkin aren't gonna let you back in, knowing the terms of the deal. If they don't know the terms of the deal, they'll be wondering why you guys are leaving. So he's not sure if you can follow up on that on your side of the deal. And he's the king piece as well. Even if you are true to your word, it's still not good to be out of position.
I offer this as he's pondering it. It is my understanding that these fell gods expect certain things from those who they give power. Would yours look at you the same if you declined an offer to a fight you knew you could win?
Chaplain Bellamy has told me of your tricksy ways. Silver words. You wouldn't be making an offer you know you would lose.
And I trust that you wouldn't make a deal that you knew you could lose.
Would I
We
lose
both
the fight?
staked our
No.
claim on this.
I wouldn't lose the fight. But I don't think you would be able to hold up your side of the deal.
I will ensure it's done.
You swear it? Thrice. Upon your name and power.
If we lose, those walls open.
He holds out his hand. He puts away, like, takes his hand off that sword at his waist and holds that one out now.
A deal made, then.
I shake it.
You shake it and you hear a lock click into place, and all the watchers, like, don't get me wrong, the watchers don't really have a face. They're just sort of eyes, but they do blink. But all their pupils begin dilating, just sort of like locking in the moment. It's like having like 50 people on testimony now.
Very well, Redan. Very well. Although know this. If I win, when you open those walls up, I would happily have you in our number. Afterwards. You and I can do great things. And as I said, we are on the same side, whether you see the truth or not.
I suppose battle will enlighten.
Battle later, yes.
I don't have a token for this guy. Unfortunately. Wish I did. Didn't got time for it. Honestly, probably won't need to spend too long on it. But,
Okay.
as he
Either mine
says...
works just fine.
Yeah, I got the art for it. As he says battle later, this figure lands behind him.
And the Enlightener now. Gaze upon him and the truth.
Do you look at him?
I pray to every true God before I do.
That's interesting. Roll me religion with advantage, and you get one free reroll. And I won't say why.
Triple advantage.
Basically triple advantage.
So
So I don't have
you
an
have
inspiration. Wait a second. Wait, I got a dang second.
Do you?
I got one more trick up.
Donde?
That's la biblioteca. Me llamo T-Bone.
I do. I would
not
like to
discoteca.
succeed a skill check.
Oh,
Alright.
okay. You guys really like busting. Okay, fair enough. I can't fault you.
It's kind of important.
It's kind of important. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking
little
about.
bit.
If you see him, if you succeed, you see that he's wearing a Switchfoot shirt.
Oh, you just cringe. I don't even want to do this battle anymore.
I didn't know
he
for
suddenly
the longest
materializes the
time
fedora.
that Switchfoot is a Christian.
Yeah.
I didn't know that for so long because I liked him when I was growing up, and then someone pointed out, I'm like, Switchfoot's a Christian rock band, and I was like, wait,
Yes.
all the lyrics though. Oh God,
Their music's okay.
the music's okay. Yeah, I
He
like
has a
it.
DC
I like it.
talk necklace on.
It's mostly just jokes. They're interesting. Anyways,
You look upon him, and he is a resplendent form, and there's some part of you that wonders, maybe we can't win. Maybe. Maybe you can. I don't know. The doubt is definitely there. But you steel yourself. You steel your mind. You know, it's like Dune. Fear is the mind killer. Kasai. Stoicism in a nutshell. And you start spotting similarities to... Well, you use unusual competence. I'm just going to give it to you. The wings are usually different. It's not usually a face like that. More so over a helmet. a glowing helmet with a different visor. But the statuesque physique, the sword, the hand that's freed, usually isn't glowing, but whatever. It seems like this weird mock-up. Not mockery. That sounds insulting. Mock-up of Exalted Lord Octavian. And as this sort of realization catches you, the Grandmaster gets a slight smile to his face.
Now you see, we are on the same side, Verdane. Even if fate takes us elsewhere. Know that in your heart of hearts. And tell that girl that as well. That nagging feeling in the back of her mind is the truth. Tell it to the rest of your company as well. They may be wanton helping the Stemken, but you know in your heart of hearts the Stemken are evil. They're wicked. They corrupt flesh, indoctrinate family. We have ascended, and I have taken no prisoners in this ascension. Fair and true. But at the end of all this, I will happily burn when they are all gone. Then, and only then. But the deal has been made. Tomorrow, at noon, for what good time is under these smoky skies and the eyes of the divine. Tomorrow.
I wish you well in the war, Grandmaster.
And you as well, Mr. Verdane. Do try to stay alive. We would enjoy that very much.
And then they both fly off, and the Watchers begin pulling back away from you. And you see, because the Grandmaster he's literally big. He has wings made of arms, and the Enlightener is also pretty big. He's like 10 feet tall. Pretty large wingspan. You see now that they've left, that the Enlighteners behind them, the ones that were setting up defenses and fortifications and so on, were actually just bent their knee in prayer the entire time. But as the Grandmaster and the Enlightener leave, they begin getting back up and staring at you. They don't even continue working, they just keep staring at you.
He just takes a deep breath before heading back in.
The canopy opens up, and you enter back in, and it closes behind you. You begin going back to camp, I assume.
Correct. Is the Sergeant Major there?
Not the Sergeant Major, but the Captain does find you.
Okay.
That was something. I am happy you weren't smited where you stood.
Yes, I suppose so.
If I might steal your ear for a moment before you go back.
Please.
Know this. The 703rd have had many an operation against dark powers in our history. We've even had to go against dark powers that claim to be true. There is a reason the true faith does not allow them. And he gestures outside the canopy. They are deviant. They are mutated in their faith. Derelict. Steel your heart to it, Mr. Verdane. No matter how resplendent they look, not all that glitters is gold. Not all divine are true.
I understand.
Gods help you tomorrow. You'll need it.
Could you do something for me?
I can't promise. I can try. What do you need?
If we fall, make sure that vine opens.
He crosses his arms and thinks on it.
Better strong them in victory than a weak enemy that you never liked in the first place.
Roll me your persuasion.
You are not rolling great today.
Oh, I got a thing.
You got a thing? Oh
It's a
yeah,
six.
I totally forgot about that. Which is weird because that's sort of like the whole purpose of it.
I was gonna give you an
Oh,
inspiration,
come on,
but I
you
think
need-
22 works.
22.
You need to stop rolling like I do. Come on.
Dude, honestly.
You got a plus 10. Stop rolling 5s.
They'll never be strong enough to threaten the South. But they might eliminate some other problem.
It's like he's seriously like in thought about it. Like he's not looking at, he's looking off and away towards the direction that you just came back through the canopy. He's really in thought about it. To the point where I'm in thought about it. Captain Gustavo isn't a pro-Nevros person, but he's not an anti-Nevros person like the Sergeant Major. He is a dutiful man. So is the Sergeant Major, in fairness. But by the orders that he's given right now, he's here to help the STEMCAN. Indirectly. He's here to help you guys, so I guess... But if you guys die, then... It's so hard. And the thing is, this is falling to him. Because you're requesting it to him. He's not going to bounce it up to the chaplain. He has to make executive decision.
Think on it. I trust you will do what you believe is right.
I am thinking on it. Do not go. There's no point in belaboring this beyond the time it takes me to decide. Very well. If it happens, I will do it. We, the 703rd, will do it. I only hope that you won't have to exercise the option with us.
It won't.
I hope so. Gods be with you.
And you, Captain.
He does a whistle and like bird calls again and gets the Sergeant Major and Tristan. And as you're leaving, you can hear them beginning to issue sabotage orders preemptively, just in case. They're not putting stuff in place yet. They're just going to be ready to. Caches and so on. Not the first time I had to pull sabotage detail. Being part of the
Setting up the
long-distance reconnaissance.
explosives, but they'll pull the trigger later, kind of thing.
They're not setting up the explosives. Too easy for someone to mishandle it, especially their clothing side, which knows the deals is active right now. They have the explosives readied. They're not placed. No triggers loaded. They'll have time to set them up in the aftermath. If it is needed. If. Honestly, Axel doesn't care either way. He's like, fuck it, blow him up. I'm gonna set him up now, Captain. What does it matter? But no, that's not what's gonna happen.
You're the chicken.
Okay, well, I guess next week is scenario 4. Sort
That's
of.
a hell of a gamble. Damn.
It's a big gamble. All right, hold on. Let's make the announcement. All right, so shit
We can
happened.
go home, I guess.
Scenario 4 is happening next week. In all or nothing style Gambit. Yeah. If
No,
you
we'll
failed
finish.
next week, then scenario 3 probably won't. I don't even know if it'll happen. Because the pirates are like right there, so there's no point in fighting a losing fight. Well, unless you're Astrid. Astrid can't die, so. Oh well. Well. All right. I think we call it there. I'm at a loss for words. So.
We.
It's going down, baby.
It's going down. Saturday Night Brother is going down.
Also, did y'all notice my voice sounds really weird?
No.
I mean,
Oh,
I
I
thought
taught
we
my
were
son how to do a
reflections.
chokehold, and I didn't
He's
teach
really
him about
good.
what tapping out meant.
Oh.
I can hear a bit of strain in your voice. I can hear that.
So
Now that you bring it up.
yeah, he kind of strong kid.
He
Now
knows
that
what
you
he's
mention
doing.
it,
Yeah, now that you point
Yeah.
out, I can hear the strain. Okay.
I guess it doesn't really help that Redane usually has that sort of strained kind
Okay.
of cadence,
Oh, true.
or like neutral.
Dude, that token looks so good.
Yeah.
I remember telling Garth, I was like, try just taking the arms and just going buck wild to make a wing of them. It might look like shit.
It didn't
No.
look
It
like
does
shit.
look like shit in a horrific manner. And then I'm like, we did it. we showed the puzzle.
And then I gave him some Cheeto Dust fingers that looked like fire, like they were burned.
I like him.
No, the
You know,
Cheetos fingers
just
is
look.
so good because it gives like definition to the edge. Like it gives
Mhm.
like a little bit of like I don't know border.
Yeah.
I would say making the token for this thing fucking sucked because like this is like not this is not like a normal token shape right now. Like this is
Not
like
at all.
deviated.
As long as it's like roughly
Damn.
a square, it should be fine-ish, but I'm pretty sure that's a rectangle.
It's not gonna. My only concern is it's not gonna lock to the squares properly. But whatever. That's a small cost to pay for a guy that's here for like 1 time, 2 times. I don't know. What if he lives though? What if he lives? What if you guys lose and then we can
Our
take a
characters are brought
different
back as
campaign?
enlighteners.
Maybe.
Always double tap.
Honestly, like I have a series of potential scenarios, and I'm gonna run it by you guys if you guys do end up TPK next week. Of like what we're gonna do if you guys TPK, and one of those scenarios is what happens if you guys play in a sort of semi-post-apocalyptic thing of the Enlighteners just kept winning.
They were just that Chad.
Ooh.
Yeah, because well, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell it to you now because it's not gonna come up ever afterwards.
I guess they snowballed.
There's a special thing about the Enlighteners is they have a habit of taking the sacred artifacts of other tribes and consecrating them. You know, consecrating them. So that blade at his hip isn't an actual full blade. It's only up to like here. The rest is broken. It's like it's not even there. And he actually uses this to ritually scar the other Enlighteners.
Hey, does it happen to look like a blade of like I don't know, a certain sun tribe or something? Or wait, no, they had a staff, right?
They had a staff.
They had a staff.
You're
And
thinking of
people are
the
still round.
Yeah, they had a black passage blade. That's what it's called.
Right. Okay, so it's not. It's probably
And
not
the
this.
mask
Also, it looks
that's
too off.
morphing all the Enlighteners is also one such artifact.
Yeah.
That's what was in the village.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's why they're different now versus what you guys could have met them potentially earlier. You would have met them back when they're all relatively different looking.
Yeah.
But now they're all the same. Enlightened.
Yeah.
Woo, baby! So yeah, maybe that could happen. Maybe you guys can play a post-apocalyptic game in the north where the Enlighteners just kept winning.
That actually kind of fun.
Yeah, I think it might spice things up. There's a bunch of different options, and of course, options if you guys win. Yeah, I can't wait. Honestly, I might start kicking off some aspirant stuff now. Soon.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Not like
kinda-
actually giving them, but like the sneak peek. So like, for like what Sajar has. I just don't know what.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to go for near the end.
Well, the thing is, like, when you pick Astrid wouldn't be your aspirant source. The
It'd be
Knights, as a concept, would be your source, not her in specific. Or if anything, you might just end up getting Zolgir Fenazar, but that's besides the point.
Zolgir Fenazar, but in like specific outfit, specific section.
Eventually. I actually had something in mind for Deet today, and I'm actually a bit bummed I didn't get to do it so well. Oh, well. So, next week, All or Nothing.
I mean, it could always be a cold open on her next week, and then we kick into it.
Maybe, but... Well, wait. Next week's the long week, isn't it? Right, Garth?
Should be. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a short week, and we go into... Yeah, you know the answer.
I'm just double-checking in case some anomaly came up that she told you about that I'm not aware of. We'll see. Yeah, because I can't really message Dorky in the week, because she's just busy.